Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at equivalent fractions. And I want us to start today by looking at this here and this piece of Lego. And we're going to say this piece of Lego is our whole amount. And we're going to use pieces of Lego to look at equivalent fractions to see what they kind of mean if rather than just talk about numbers. We're going to look at them. So here's my whole, and if I wanted to, I could divide it up into two equal parts. See, we've got 1, 2. So I can divide it up into two equal parts. And if I did that, then I will have divided this up into a half and a half. So I'll have two halves here. I could also, if I wanted to, instead of dividing it up into halves, I could cut it up into 4 equal parts. Here you can see I can fit 4 equal parts along there. So I could divide it up into quarters if I wanted to. I could also, if I felt like it, could divide it up into 3 equal pieces. Here we can fit 3 equal pieces there. So I could do that if I felt like it and have thirds. I could, if I divided it up smaller, could divide it up into, does this all fit on? It does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces. So I could have sixths if I wanted to, and they'd all fit in there. Or could divide it up into really little pieces. And if I divided it up into really little pieces, like this, I've got 3, 6, 9, 12. I think that's 12. We'll go back and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I could divide it up into twelfths if I wanted to. So you can divide your whole amount up into whatever you want. But today I've divided it up into these pieces. And let's have a little bit of a look at equivalent fractions. So if we were to have a look at, let's say, our 1/2 here. So we know this is 1/2 because we have got 2 of those pieces. So 1/2, let's have a look what else fits in. These are our quarters, and 2 quarters take up the same amount of space as one of the halves. So that's interesting. I can't get 2 of my green pieces there. They don't line up neatly. You're going to run out of room. So that's not going to be a useful thing to look at. But what about if we have a look at these ones here, these white ones? So our 1/2, our white ones were the sixths because we had 6 of them all together. Look down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of them. And 1/2 equals 3 sixths. So that's interesting. If we have a bit of a look at what other equivalent fractions we can make, we could use one of these. We said these were our 1/6. So if we've got 1/6, we get these little ones. And there's 2 of them. So 1/6 equals 2. And we said these ones were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, twelfths. So 1/6 is the same as 2 twelfths. So what about these? This is one of our 1/3. So this is we'll head up the top here. So we had a third. The green ones are a third. Now 2 sixths fits there. So in equivalent fractions, what we need to do is have a look at fraction sizes and see what ones take up the same amount of space. And that's how we can make some equivalent fractions. Today you're going to get a worksheet, and in your worksheet it will have 2 diagrams sitting on top of each other. like so. And it might have, the top one will be shaded in, and the bottom one will need you to make an equivalent fraction. So here we've got 1/2, and we need to say, whoops, here we've got 1/2. Can we see that? Just. Here we've got 1/2. And what does this equal to? So in size, that is the same size as this fraction down below. That takes up this amount. And down below, these have been divided up into quarters. And so it's the same as 2/4. So today, when you're looking at your equivalent fraction worksheet, what you need to do is have a look at the shaded section and then look how many pieces you would need in the diagram below and write down the fraction amount. So equivalent fractions are pieces of fractions that together make up the same amount. So here's one that's a little bit different. We could say 2/3, because this here's 2/3, is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4/6. So we don't always have to look at one piece, we can look at two pieces. So today, picture, well, you've got pictures. Picture the two fraction amounts that take up the same amount of space on your page. And that's how we get equivalent fractions.